Your new Galaxy Watch 9 dies overnight because the charger you're using barely makes contact with the sensor. One wrong angle and you wake up to a dead watch. Stick around, because most people are using the wrong one entirely. One more thing before we start. 2 of these 5 aren't even chargers. They're stands. Keep that in mind because it changes what you're actually buying. On number 5. At the bottom of the pile is the SwanScout 303S portable watch charger. This is a foldable, pocket-sized charger built around an 1,800 milliamp hour internal battery. So instead of plugging into a wall, you charge it once and then carry it with you. Useful if you travel a lot or just don't want a cable running across your nightstand. It has a magnetic module that pulls the watch into alignment, and it supports something SwanScout calls Nightstand mode, where the watch's screen stays visible while it charges, so you can actually use it as a bedside clock. The honest catch here is battery math. 1,800 milliamp hours is enough for roughly 1, maybe 2 full charges of a Watch 9 before you need to recharge the brick itself, which turns this into another device you have to remember to plug in. It's also the only charger in this lineup you'd actually carry in a bag, so the pocket friction question matters. The folded plastic shell is smooth enough to slide in and out of a pocket without catching on fabric, unlike a silicone charging pad that would grip lint. On a desk, though, the flat folded base has no weight to it, so a light nudge can slide it a few inches. There's also a firmware quirk worth mentioning. Because the magnetic module here is designed around the older Watch 3 through 8 alignment ring. On number 4. If portability isn't the priority and you just want your Watch 9's included charger to stop rolling around your desk, this next pick solves that, but with a catch you need to know before you buy it. The elago GW2 Charging Stand is not a charger. It's a molded silicone cradle that your existing Samsung charging puck snaps into, and elago is explicit about this. The listing states it's compatible only with the original charger that came with your watch, not third-party pucks. So if you're buying this expecting a plug-and-play charger, you'll open the box and find a piece of silicone with a cutout in it. What it does well, it does well. The precise cutout holds the OEM puck at a fixed angle so it can't slide off a nightstand, and there's a small channel to route the cable so it doesn't dangle over the edge. The premium silicone body also won't scratch your desk or the underside of the watch, and the weighted, non-slip base actually solves the table wobble problem better than some standalone chargers, since the cradle keeps the puck dead level. The catch is straightforward. You're paying for organization, not charging capability, and it does nothing if you don't already own, or don't want to keep using, Samsung's stock charger. For anyone who already has the puck and just wants it to stop sliding around, this works exactly as advertised. On number 3. The next entry solves the exact same organizational problem, just with a different material approach. The Spigen S353 charger stand is, again, a cradle for your official Samsung charger, not a standalone charging brick, made from scratch-resistant TPU instead of elago's silicone. It has a bottom lip that cradles the watch itself on its side, which keeps it from swaying while it charges, and the base is lined with what Spigen calls nanotack technology, essentially a tacky rubber compound designed to grip a desk or nightstand surface without leaving residue behind, which is a meaningful upgrade over stands that rely on plain rubber feet. In our stability test, tapping the corner of a desk with the Spigen stand in place produced noticeably less rocking than a bare charging puck sitting flat, because the raised lip anchors the watch's edge rather than letting the whole assembly pivot on the charging coil alone. The catch is the same one as before, and it's worth repeating because it trips people up. Spigen states outright that this only works with the official Samsung charger, so if you've lost yours or are buying new, this stand alone won't power your watch. It's also strap open only, meaning you have to lay the band flat to seat the watch correctly, which is a minor inconvenience if you're used to just dropping the watch onto a flat puck. If you already own the OEM charger, mainly care about desk stability and a scratch-free finish, this edges out the elago on rigidity, which is why it ranks one spot higher. On number 2, the charger stand for Samsung Galaxy Watch, magnetic nightstand mode, is a self-contained charging dock. It comes with its own USB A to C cable and a built-in magnetic charging module, so there's no OEM puck to track down or lose. Snap the watch down, and it aligns on its own. And because the design keeps the watch visible in an upright position, you can use it as a bedside clock the same way the SwanScout does, except this one plugs directly into the wall rather than relying on an internal battery. It's compact, about 2.6 inches square and under 2 inches tall, with a weighted, non-slip silicone base that held steady through repeated desk taps in our stability check. No wobble at all, which matters more than it sounds like it should once you've dealt with a charger that skitters every time you set your watch down at midnight. The catch is the charging speed. At 3 watts, it's on the slower end for overnight charging. So if you're used to Samsung's faster wireless pucks, expect this to take longer to top off a fully drained Watch 9. Though for most people plugging in before bed, a slower overnight charge is a non-issue. It also draws power through a basic USB-A cable rather than USB-CPD, so don't expect this to keep pace with newer, fast-charging accessories if Samsung pushes updated charging speeds to the Watch 9. For a genuinely plug-and-forget nightstand charger with 0 extra parts to buy, this is the strongest single-device option on the list. On number 1. And that brings us to the winner, the one that actually solves more than one problem at once. The upgraded wireless charging station for Samsung is a 3-in-1 dock that charges your Galaxy Watch, your phone, and your Galaxy Buds simultaneously, using dual coils so the watch and phone charge pads aren't fighting each other for power. It supports 10-watt fast charging for the watch itself, noticeably quicker than the 3-watt nightstand charger we just covered, and the phone pad charges through a case up to 3 millimeters thick, so you don't have to strip your phone naked every night, provided your case isn't metal-backed or a magnetic wallet case, both of which the listing flags as incompatible. The T-plate design uses silicone pads at each charging point specifically to prevent the watch and phone from sliding during the night, which address the table wobble issue better than any charger further down this list, since the design load bears across 3 points instead of one narrow footprint. The catch is compatibility scope. It explicitly does not support Apple Watch or the older Galaxy Gear S3, so if your household mixes ecosystems, this only handles the Samsung side of things. It also needs a separate wall adapter capable of delivering enough wattage to actually hit that 10-watt watch speed. A basic 5-watt phone brick will bottleneck it. The included foreign object detection and overcurrent, overvoltage, and overtemperature protection circuits are also worth flagging, since a 3-device dock sitting on a nightstand overnight is exactly the kind of setup where you want that kind of built-in safety monitoring rather than a bargain bin coil with none of it. One last thing. Since the Watch 9 only just launched, keep an eye on Samsung's own accessory listings over the next few weeks. If Samsung updates official charging speeds or introduces a new puck design, some of what's here could shift. Links to every product in this exact order are down in the description. If this saved you from buying the wrong one, drop a like, and subscribe for more before you make a bad accessory purchase.